Hi, this is Joy Houston from Rock and Body Raw Foods, and I'm here with Leanne Dombrowski, who recently completed the 14-day cleanse, and so I thought we'd pick her brain and see how her education was before, what the cleanse was like during, and what she's implementing now that she's done. So Leanne, tell us why you even needed to do the cleanse in the first place, because obviously you don't need to lose weight. What brought you to the diet?
So I've always been interested in healthy eating, but I was a little bit just bored with my usual ritual, and when I met you and got to talking with you about all of the interesting things that you can do with raw food, I definitely became intrigued, and so that's how it kind of started for me, with just wanting to cut out meat and wanting to see what my body felt like without that, because I always felt just slightly heavy and I kind of craved that just light feeling. You know, I like to walk around feeling light, you know, as often as I can. And so that was the experiment for me, was seeing if I could actually do, you know, vegetarian food and like it and not be craving, you know, the protein that I got from meat. So.
Okay. So can I tell them the text I got from you? I think it was like day 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I get a text message from her, basically, I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was something to the effect of just not even having her feet touch the ground.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Tell us what that was like, and you know, did you think you were sick when you first felt it, or what happened when that feeling first came on? Like,
it was definitely, I didn't feel sick at all. I definitely felt like this great feeling of euphoria. I definitely felt a buzz, and the green drinks is what I became so obsessed with, because I would drink those in the morning, and the ginger and the veggies and just getting that all in one concentrated, you know, glass just made me feel, just put a pep in my step, you know, and started my day with just such a clean kind of feeling of clarity. You know, I just, especially as a nurse and I work nights and I always feel a little bit fuzzy, it kind of took that fuzziness away and allowed me to just feel centered and focused, and it was wonderful, you know, so of course I wanted to learn more.
Okay, so her schedule is like uber hectic. So for all the people whose excuses, I can't do it because I don't have time, or after work or before work I don't have the energy, what would you share with people who let that be their hurdle to having that euphoric raw foods experience?
It's not as bad as it sounds. It seems overwhelming when you first read the information, but when you actually sit down and do it, I had such an enjoyable time. I had some friends in town when I first started the cleanse, and they had gone hiking for the day, and it was just me, myself, and I in my kitchen with music, and you know, I think maybe a little bit of red wine was infused in that mix, but it was perfect. I spent 5 hours just creating this amazing, you know, 4 days of food, and then my friends came home, and you know, I shared it with them, and they were happy about it, and you know, and so on and so on. You know, it was great. Everybody that's even experienced it on the slightest level has been super excited about it and super interested to learn more and to delve more into it, because you just can't. I mean, it's just delicious and nutritious all at once. It's perfect.
And did you make it through the 14 days?
I did, although I was a little bit, I didn't cheat, but I definitely looked at the plan and picked things that looked interesting to me, so, because I'm kind of a creature of habit, so there would be something that I would really like, and I would stick with it.
Right,
yeah.
Okay.
So, like the corn chowder, I would have that 3 days in a row, just because I loved it, you know, or I'd have salads, you know, for a few days, so there was a few things that I skipped. I think a few of the Italian dishes I skipped, but pretty much everything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of the nut, they like mock meats and mock cheeses that are on the cleanse.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I find those really, or I found those really appealing as a sort of a gateway drug to get off of meat and cheese and those kind of cravings. But I think maybe even halfway through the first time I started wanting to do a 14-day cleanse, I didn't even feel the need for those anymore. So I'm curious, did you keep those in your diet after the cleanse, or do you use those heavily now, or no?
I definitely, my favorite thing is the egg salad, and then I've also found recipes for tuna salad, so things that are similar to that, because I am obsessed with the fact that I can eat that and it's not meat, but yes, it gives me that same satisfied feeling that meat does, and I don't feel like I'm missing out at all whatsoever. And the most important thing to know is that I am a cheese addict. Everybody that knows me knows that usually my refrigerator is full of gourmet cheese, all different kinds, and to be able to say now that I rarely eat cheese, and cheese to me is a luxury, is something I never thought I would say. And as far as my digestive system is concerned, I feel like that was really affecting me adversely, and it was kind of a crutch, you know, like chocolate is for some people. I mean, it really was something that I ate, you know, when out of it was like my emotional eating crutch, you know. And now that I don't eat cheese, I can't tell you how much better my, you know, body is functioning. Honestly, it's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now the nut cheeses, especially the cashew one, the garlic nut cheese. If there's any nut thing that I think I've hung on to, it's that garlic cheese, because throwing it on like throwing a little in with the tomato and basil to make a little bruschetta. Like, I feel good. It's a tiny bit of nut cheese, and it's a really heavy, you know, vegetable base. Lots and lots of fresh basil and tomatoes and garlic, and it just feels really good. I serve mine on a lettuce, like just do the whole thing as a salad. So there's a few of those I definitely hold on to. Like, her cheese was definitely my drug of choice.
Absolutely.
But I'm a chocolate girl too, so the mint cacao brownies and those sort of things, every once in a while, like when I want it, I like to have it as a crutch. And then I find that instead of like a pot of brownies, you know, you make a pan of brownies at home, it seems like everybody just eats the whole pan until they're gone. But with the raw brownies, because the nuts they're heavier, and they're sweetened with dates, which are heavier. You know, everyone has a small serving at our house.
Goes a long way.
Yeah, and then there's completely satiated. Chocolate craving fix.
The nacho cheese.
Oh,
okay, let's talk about that for a second. So good. I mean, I could literally sit there and just eat it, and there's so many different things you can do with it. I mean, dip veggies in it, you know, whatever. I mean, the nacho thing, I mean, yeah, but there's a million things that you can do with that nacho cheese. You know, sprinkle it over salad, whatever. I love that taste, and I love that flavor, and it does the same exact thing for me that dairy cheese did for me before. You know, which is crazy. I can't believe it. It's amazing.
Especially because nacho cheese, what everyone's come to, you know, enjoy as nacho cheese is at the movies, right? Which is not really even cheese at all.
Exactly, like, what is that?
Hydrogenated nonsense. You know, with some jalapeno juice, I think. So, yeah, that's one of my favorites too.
So good.
Okay, so implementing things after, like what did you just jump straight back into food, or did you?
Well, for me, the green juices are huge. It's like my day does not feel right without green juice, and I feel like if I'm doing that, I'm doing something. You know, it's kind of a psychological thing too, because I feel like, okay, I'm starting my day with something healthy, and I'm making the choice to just put something yummy in my body at the beginning of the day, and that's huge. And then also, I can't tell you how much more fruit and vegetable I'm eating on a daily basis. You know, it's incredible, and you crave it, you know. And I heard that before, and I thought, yeah, right. But you really do start to crave it, and you start to just have a sense of awareness about what you're eating, and where you're buying it, and it's just kind of this thing that affects your whole lifestyle. You know.
And there's a reason for that. I mean, I think there's a couple reasons about the green drink setting your cravings for the day. One is those drinks are full of calcium and magnesium, which are both very alkaline. And so when you start the alkaline, you know, you start your body on that alkaline path at the beginning of the day, you're not going to need those the acidic things like flours and sugars, and you're not going to need that throughout the day. So it does have a, you know, a legitimate reason why it helps to change your taste throughout the day. And I do think that once you go through the diet, your taste buds have time to change. They only live 10 days. I don't know if you know that, but a taste bud only lives 10 days. So by the time you actually make it through the 14-day cleanse, your cravings literally do change a little. Maybe the emotional things that you think you need might not change if you haven't let that go in 14 days, but your taste buds are fine with what you've been feeding it. And so when you come off the diet, and like right now blueberries are on, or raspberries are on, and the watermelon is amazing, and peaches are amazing, like, I don't know about you, but when you come off a cleanse, for me, those things just taste like ambrosia.
So true. And for me, being like the former carnivore, all of that stuff is like eating filet mignon for me, you know. It's like if I'm having this delicious fruit smoothie that has, you know, young coconuts in it or whatever, I'm like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever had, ever, you know. And if I'm having, you know, that green smoothie, and it really does, I just can't explain it. I mean, it gives me this buzz, you know, this buzz, but also a feeling of clarity, like I said, and that's so important for me with, you know, the lack of sleep and all of that, you know, and I really haven't been able to find that in any other way, you know.
Yeah. Now we're starting a challenge. It actually starts tomorrow. So tomorrow is day 1 of the Raw Food 365 challenge, which is actually a pretty simple challenge if you made it through the cleanse. It's just getting your diet to 60% fresh fruits and vegetables. 60%. So that leaves the other 40% for cooked vegetables if you're vegan, or meat and cheese if you're still a meat and cheese eater. So are you gonna tackle that? Are you
Absolutely.
taking up the challenge?
Absolutely. I feel like I'm already there, and there's times, I mean, nobody's perfect. I mean, there's times where I fall off the wagon, but what I love is that I have this huge thing that I can fall back on, and undoubtedly every time I fall off the wagon, my body tells me it wants me to go back.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. And the best way to get back in is always the green drinks.
Always.
You like those anyway.
Yep,
so
yep, that's so true. It's the best way.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Leo.
Yes,
for
of
taking a minute.
course.